In a surprising announcement earlier this week, Lexi Thompson took to social media to announce in a video message that she will be stepping away from competitive golf at the end of this season. The announcement coming at the very championship, the U.S. Women's Open, where she burst onto the scene at just the young age of 12 and now is preparing to compete in her 18th and final U.S. Women's Open. Now, Thompson's kept a limited schedule, playing a limited number of events on the LPGA Tour over the last 2 seasons. And in a meeting with the media earlier this week, she said that she has considered retiring for the past few years.
I'm just going to take it day by day and see how I feel, especially going into next year. But I'm very content with this being my last full-time schedule year. Being out here can be a lot. It can be lonely. Sorry if I get emotional. I said I wasn't going to. I just think, especially with what's happened in golf as of recent too, a lot of people don't realize a lot of what we go through as a professional athlete. I mean, and I'll be the last one to say, throw me a pity party. This is the last thing I want, but we're doing what we love. We're trying the best every single day, and we're not perfect. We're humans. Words hurt. And it's hard to overcome sometimes, but having the people around you that love you and support you, and I feel like that's been the biggest thing for me. I might not have a huge friend group, but to have the people that matter the most around me have gotten me through some really hard times. And I think it's a lot for everybody out here or in any professional sport. A lot of people don't know what we go through and the amount of training and hard work that we put ourselves through. It's a lot, and I don't think we deserve. I think we deserve a lot more credit than what we get.
And as I mentioned, Thompson has played a limited schedule over the past 2 seasons, and she did so in an effort to strike more of a balance of life away from the golf course. It's a trend we've seen among the top players who have gotten into other activities like going to the gym regularly, meditating, and just other outside outlets to be able to have more of a life besides golf. Anna Nordqvist has been quite open about her challenges that she's faced on the LPGA Tour in her more than decade out here competing, opening up about disappointing losses, about that debilitating case of mono, and even the sudden and recent passing of her ex-husband just last season. Nordqvist talked with us yesterday about how she has prioritized her mental health along with other players.
It's something I've spoken about the last couple of years, and it's hard. I mean, tour life is hard. You heard Lexi talk about it yesterday. I mean, it's lonely and it's a grind. I'm on the road now for 7 weeks. You kind of miss that, being home and, seeing your family, but it's kind of sacrifices you have to do as part of this job. But also this job brings you, so many amazing opportunities and experiences, and I love the majors, and just coming out here and, seeing the fans. I've kind of been blown away, the amount of fans that we had the last 2 days, and the tournament hasn't even started. So yeah, it's definitely something that is not talked about enough, but I work on it constantly, and I've been trying to manage the storm here the last couple of years, but I'm just trying to put one foot in front of the other, showing up every day, trying to smile, be happy, and just do my best, because that's all I can do.
Well, I'm fortunate enough to traveling with both a good friend, which is my caddy Shane, and also Jack, my future husband. So it's a very you try to find ways that make you feel good about yourself and enjoying this lifestyle, because it is hard. I mean, we're very fortunate to do what we do, but I heard Lexi's press conference yesterday, and it gets lonely. If you don't have that support system, it gets lonely out here. It's hard work. It's you're playing against the best players in the world, and you want to perform. We're all competitors, and it's just when the lows are low, it's just extra low. So I think it's good that it's being talked about more, and it has been for a while, but obviously horrible what happened this past weekend, and I think it's just important that it gets talked about more, and people find those networks of having that support system around them. This is definitely, a tough topic, and it was so sad to see the news of him. And I think we all, maybe not to that magnitude, but we all have kind of had, mental issues. And, it's tough out here being a professional athlete. I feel like people don't really talk about that too much. It kind of seems like it's, a glamorous lifestyle, but it's tough, If you miss a cut, you take it on yourself, and if you're not playing well, you take it on yourself, and it's a very individual sport in that way, and it's just kind of relying on your team and your support system, and making sure that your kind of life is balanced on and off the golf course.
In that video message that Thompson posted announcing her retirement, she said that she has really struggled dealing with the scrutiny that she has faced, especially on social media, that it was hard for her to put on a smile when on the inside she was suffering. Thompson also said that golf is the life that really the only one that she's ever known, and she's looking forward to getting away from the grind week to week of competing and training.
All right, thank you, Amy. Well, it's very clear from all the comments that we heard and the sound there that, when the highs are high, they're great, but when the lows are low, they are very, very lows. That's what Madeline Sagstrom referred to, and mental health has been such a huge topic, rightfully so, in our sport, especially as of late with the tragic passing of Grayson Murray. And Lexi seemed to really reference that in her comments in her press conference, in which she was very emotional when she discussed her retirement. But Mel, for you've been out there week in, week out. You know what it's like to be away from your wife, your son, and the grind that this takes. How much does the discussion around mental health resonate with you?
Yeah, hugely. I think we all have our own struggles. I'm really happy that more people are feeling that they can speak up about it, as they should do. It's tough out here. It's, I said it yesterday, I think full swing has glamorized professional golf. That is not the reality, especially out here. We travel so much. A lot of the international players have left their family, their friends, come to live in a whole new country, and we're traveling, 30, 35 weeks a year pretty much. And it does take a toll on your mental health because, like you said, when the highs are high, it's amazing, it's the best job in the world. But when the lows are lows, you've never felt more lonely, ever. Because it's kind of all on you, and you have a team around you that you're responsible for as well. And so I've always felt that kind of internal pressure that I do put on myself, but it is a grind out here, and I've been doing it for 17 years, and it's certainly taken a toll on me.
What can be done, Etienne?
Well, I think the tour has already taken some important steps in hiring Dr. Julia Amato, who comes out to about a dozen events a year, and she's here this week. She typically will see 8 to 10 players a week. Obviously she can't see everybody every week, but it's a tremendous resource for players who maybe want to talk to someone without their team even knowing about it, or mom and dad even knowing about it. And so I think that's really important. I think social media is a really tough thing for a lot of players to ingest all of the vitriol that can be on there. And you want to be on social media, you want to share part of your life, it's an important thing, but trying to figure out how to create that balance to protect yourself as well while still getting your brand out there is really tough. I also think that as the money has gotten so much higher out here, which of course everyone wants, it also takes a little bit away from the family nature of the tour. I think it's a lot more competitive, a lot more business-like than it was. I've talked to several veteran players about this over the years, just how the culture of the tour has changed. And a lot of people come out with their little entourage, and they don't get away from it, And I think one thing that's probably not talked about, too, we talk about how the highs are high. But I can't tell you the number of champions who have said to me, I worked all my life to win this tournament, to have this moment. And then I look around and I say, this is it. This is it. Everybody's moved on to the next town. You're in your hotel room late because you missed your flight, because you had to do media obligations and sign flags and all these things. And oftentimes they're by themselves. And what that does to you. And you feel like you can't talk to anybody about that because you just won. So how can you complain and have a pity party? So I think it's just tough for everybody, no matter where you fall on the money list or where you are in your career.
Yeah, all these players, in the women's tour, the men's tour, they're taught how to swing, how to work their way around a golf course, how to be in the best place mentally to get around a golf course, but how to handle the hype and how to handle the criticism, those are soft skills that are just as important as how to swing a golf club, how to work your way around a golf course. And in particular, if you're of the talent or such a compelling figure like Lexi Thompson. You know, since I've been watching the women's game, there's two players that have come along from the United States, Michelle Wie and Lexi Thompson, who I think unfairly had the weight of the LPGA on their shoulders. It was like their talents were so huge and they were such compelling figures that there was a sense that they could be transformative the way Tiger Woods was transformative. But Tiger Woods, I don't think, ever felt like the weight of the PGA Tour was on his shoulders. I don't think he ever felt that. But there was that sense with Michelle Wie and with Lexi Thompson. And it's hard enough just to be in the fishbowl all the time and have people criticizing everything you do, but let alone to have that kind of pressure on your shoulders. Yes, the game of golf is hard. You're away, you sacrifice a lot. It hurts to be gone, and you're right, people don't see that. I can remember once, my oldest son now is 27, but when he was 7, 6, somewhere in there, I picked him up from school. I was like, you know, you want to go hit golf balls? He's like, no. He's like, I don't like golf. And I was like, you don't like golf? It was crushing. And I said, why? And he goes, because it takes you away from us. You know, so, you know, you start to deal with that, and you're on the road, you miss a cut, and you're alone, and you think, why am I doing this? You know, and it certainly got to me, but I didn't have the weight of the tour on my shoulders. And I was in no way, there was no social media around then to be criticized the way Lexi Thompson, the way Michelle Wie, and pretty much everybody who puts themselves out there. So, yeah, I think it's important that the LPGA have somebody out here helping the players deal with it, and on the PGA Tour, too, because it's real. It's easy to say these guys and these women are great athletes and they're pampered, they're making a lot of money, but that doesn't mean they're not human.
Yeah, they're human beings out here, and a lot of respect to Lexi Thompson for being willing to show that vulnerability, show those emotions, and that it's okay to not be okay. And, you know, it's hard out here for players having to constantly hear also the social media, the vitriol, as you mentioned, Beth Ann. You know, words do hurt. So just a, you know, a reminder to be a kinder, gentler world. I think that we could very much all benefit from that.